Co-main event time. The numbers presented by Forged Irish Stout. This bout for the BKFC Bantamweight World Title. The champion Keith Richardson versus Alberto Blas.
And Sean, it's a 2-inch height advantage, but it's that 4-inch reach advantage for Blas. He's going to want to utilize because Richardson is fantastic using that in and out motion, getting in, landing hard shots. Blas has got to control the range. He can be all the way out or all the way in. He doesn't want to be in that mid-range with Keith Richardson.
From Cuba, now based here in Florida, Alberto Blas. Blas enters 4-0 in BKFC, all 4 of those victories coming by way of first-round finish. Blas has also had 7 pro MMA bouts, 1 in pro boxing. He was a member of Cuba's freestyle wrestling national team. At our fighter meeting, Blas told us, I'm going to continually be fast and explosive throughout this bout. I have the cardio to go as long as I need to, and I have the power to end this fight quickly.
Yeah, he said he wants a longer fight, something that surprised me. He's only been 4 rounds because each time he's knocked everybody out in the first round. But he knows he wants to utilize that reach, he wants to stay long, he wants to make his opponent come in. Constant movement the entire time, cannot stand still and let his opponent pick him apart.
Of his opponent, Keith Richardson, who enters as the reigning BKFC Bantamweight World Titleist, Blas said, Richardson, I believe, will keep coming forward. I have to be aware of the right hooks he's going to throw to my head. I cannot stand directly in front of him. I have to utilize my full reach. I have to be patient while also moving.
But he cannot get against ropes. Utilize that lateral movement, control when he gets inside. He can tap when he needs to, but he cannot let his opponent push him backwards and keep him against the ropes. That's his worst case scenario.
Blas said, I believe that I am a more powerful striker than Keith Richardson. I believe that I am faster, and I believe that I am also more technical as a fighter.
And he has complete belief in his corner. He said he needs to listen to him the entire time. They will make the adjustments for him in between rounds.
He is the undefeated BKFC 135-pound world titleist, Keith Richardson, and this is his first bout with the strap. Richardson is 4-0 in BKFC. His most recent victory occurred October of last year when he defeated then-champion Reggie Barnett Jr. by a second-round TKO to claim this title. In our fire meeting, Keith Richardson said, I'm going to throw counters, but high-volume counters. Richardson, who's naturally right-handed, told us, I'm going to continually switch stances. I have to control this space in this fight, both orthodox and southpaw.
He really wants to fluster his opponent. Like you talked about, changing stances, clinch when necessary, wants to throw that right hook and then switch to southpaw. He really wants to confuse his opponent and make him not know where the punches are coming from, what angles, where they're coming from, and just keep him guessing the entire fight.
Richardson said of his opponent, Alberto Blas, he's very explosive, but I think he's going to expend a great deal of energy trying to knock me out early, and then I think his gas tank will quickly hit empty.
He feels like his experience is going to be huge in this fight. He cannot let his opponent gain confidence, keep him at bay, keep him pushing back, make him guess where he's coming from. If that opponent gets confidence, he's a dangerous fighter. Take that away early and the fight's over.
Once again, Jeff Houston.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now set for the co-main event. Scheduled for 5 2-minute rounds for the BKFC World Bantamweight Championship. Presented to you by Forged Irish Stout. Not here to take part, here to take over. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner, tonight he wears gold. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall. His official weight, 134 1/2 pounds. He holds an undefeated BKFC record at 4-0. Fighting out of Miami, Florida, by way of Matanzas, Cuba. Here is the undefeated challenger, Alberto El Indio Blas. And across the ring, his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner. Tonight he wears olive green. He stands 5 feet 6 inches tall. His official weight, 134.9 pounds. He holds an identical undefeated BKFC record at 4-0. Here is your defending BKFC World Bantamweight Champion, fighting out of Rock Hill, South Carolina, Keith Rockstar Richardson. And our referee in charge of the action, Sam Burgos.
Keith Richardson told us, I will continually walk down Albert Blas, but I will do so with very intelligent in and out movement. Look of intensity on the face of both men.
Just about to say that, Sean. There's an intense stare down between both these guys.
Round number 1. Green trunks for the champion, Keith Richardson. Yellow trunks for the challenger, Alberto Blas. The left hand from Richardson. To the body goes Keith Richardson to the inside. And that drops Keith Richardson. Ruled as a clean knockdown.
Richardson's trying to pretend he wasn't knocked down, but he's
Sam Burgos going through his mandatory 8 count to the dismay and the protestations of Keith Richardson.
From the few times that he got caught already.
Clean on the counter, there's the right hand. Now a right hand from Richardson.
Richardson's in trouble.
Right hand, knockdown number 2.
Oh, he's hurt. He's grabbing the referee. He doesn't.
That is a bad sign for Keith Richardson. Confused, trying to shoot a single leg on Sam Burgos.
Richardson has got to tie his opponent up. He's going to get knocked out if he's not careful.
55 seconds remaining, round number 1.
Oh, he's looking at the ref. The fight's
We
over.
might be done. We are. We have a new world champion. It is Alberto Blas. Richardson is trying to fight Sam Burgos. He has absolutely no idea what is happening.
And that is not him trying to be a bad sport. He just thinks he's still fighting. He doesn't know what's happening at this point. Devastating power from Blas. He still hasn't been past 1 round. This guy's an athlete. He's strong. He's powerful. He has quick hands. This guy's going to be a problem for a long time, Sean.
Alberto Blas, the new BKFC Bantamweight World titleist. 5-0 in BKFC. 5 first-round finishes.
Ladies and gentlemen, our referee in charge, Sam Burgos, steps in, calling a stop to this fight at 1 minute 10 seconds into round number 1. For your winner by TKO and new BKFC World Bantamweight Champion, Alberto El Indio Blas.
All right, champion, world champion, Alberto Blas. Can you put into words what you are feeling right now, my friend?
I'm gonna talk Spanish because
Go ahead.
I'm Latino. Hey, toda la gloria a Dios, ante todo, you know. Gracias a todos ustedes por estar aquí. Gracias por venir a apoyarme. Gracias por confiar. Gracias a todos mis entrenadores, Manny, Eduardo, el profe Tigre, Bill, you know, a mi fucking manager mío, Aldo el Toro Loco, you know. I'm fucking happy representando el Toro Loco, you know. Hey, I'm super happy, my man. Thank you for being here too. And I don't know who in next.
Let me just ask you this, man. Obviously, this is a whole journey. There's a lot of people behind you, a lot of people that get you to a place like this. What do you have to say to those people, the people that are in the gym, the people that support you, that train you? What do you have to say to those folks?
Hey, thank you for everybody. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for being here. And I'm the new 135. I'm the fucking beast. Hey, hello, 135. I'm back.
Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. He's your world champion, El Indio, Alberto Blas.
So Keith Richardson has been in wars. He's knocked people out quickly. That was a devastating performance by Blas, and I look forward to watching this guy fight. I hope one day we might see this guy fight in the second round.
Next level power from Alberto Blas, dropping Keith Richardson, who entered as the undefeated BKFC Bantamweight World Champion 3 times in round number 1 to the finish. Absolutely no bad sportsmanship from Richardson. He just simply took massive blows, was disoriented, was game, kept trying to fight, but Alberto Blas was phenomenal throughout this fight. That right hand started the beginning of the run to the finish. He is the new BKFC 135-pound world titleist, the winner by way of first-round TKO. Alberto Blas defeats Keith Richardson.
Welcome to the new BKFC app. Get monthly BKFC events for $7.99.
This is the best show in combat sports.
Enjoy our all-new library of content, including behind-the-scenes access, exclusive BKFC original series, and additional live bare-knuckle fights from around the globe. Knuckle up with the new BKFC app, only $7.99 per month. Friday, September 13th, the purest form of combat returns for BKFC 66. In the main event, the undefeated Cuban sensation Alberto Blas puts his bantamweight title on the line for the very first time against the unbeaten number 2 contender, Royal Ryan Reber, who's ready to claim his crown. Plus a stacked card with many more bare-knuckle scraps. Watch the world's most exciting combat sport live on the BKFC app. Download it at bkfc.com.
To the Bantamweight division we go. Our tale of the tape is presented by Mid 45 for Ryan Reber versus Derek Perez.
And you can see here, Sean, extremely even for the tail of the tape. 1 inch height advantage, exactly the same reach advantage. These two almost identical on paper.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are set for our next fight of the night, scheduled for 5 2-minute rounds in the Bantamweight division, presented to you by Mint 45. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner, tonight he wears black and silver. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall. His official weight, an even 135 pounds. His BKFC record stands at 2 victories opposite a single defeat. Fighting out of Belen, New Mexico, here is Derek Rage Perez. And across the ring, his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner. Tonight he wears pink and blue. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall. His official weight, 136.1 pounds. He is undefeated in the squared circle at 4-0. Fighting out of Clearwater, Florida, by way of New London, Connecticut. Here is the undefeated Royal Ryan Reber. And our referee in charge of the action, Mike Beltran.
Ryan Reber said, I believe I'm much faster than Derek Perez. I'm going to slow him down with my power punches, as I know that Perez will set a relentless pace. Round number 1. Forward off the scratch comes Derek Perez. He's in the black and silver trunks. Blue and pink trunks with his back against the ropes is Ryan Reber. Reber snatching the half-tie plum, overhead right, and another from Perez.
Sean, this is not where Reber wants to be. This is where Perez wants to be.
Short left uppercuts from Derek Perez from the half-tie plum. Big shots left-handed. Down goes Ryan Reber.
2, 3. That was exactly what Perez wants to do. He wants to get into the pocket, get in your face, pull you down, and push you out, beat you up.
Mandatory 8 count to Reber from referee Mike Beltran. Round number 1 continues. 80 seconds remaining in the opening round. And a rapid-fire start for Derek Perez now coming forward.
The thing, though, with Perez, he has such a good chin. He lets you just punch him because he doesn't mind, and he feels like if I can trade with you, I'm going to win the fight.
More big shots from Derek Perez. Reber with his back against the ropes takes the left hand. Half-time plum again from Perez. Another big left hand. On the face wash. Another right hand.
This is all Perez's style right here. This is all his pace. This is exactly what he wants to do.
One-way traffic at the moment for Derek Perez. 45 seconds remaining round number 1. Reber trying to turn out.
This is the first real test we've seen from Reber. Let's see what he can do if he can pass this test. This is huge for him right here. This is a great fight for him to learn in.
Reber with the defensive clinch, the offensive clinch, half-tie plum, left hand uppercut. Perez continuing to throw. Now the right uppercut from Ryan Reber. Perez another left hand, left uppercut, left hook. Huge volume from Derek Perez here in round number 1.
And let's see if this pace right here is enough to just wear Reber out. If he's going to have anything left come round number 2.
There's the step-in right hand from Ryan Reber, but a huge opening round for Derek Perez. Dropping Reber here in the first round. Reber trying to throw back the bell. That is the end of round 1.
So you could not ask for a better round for Perez right there. That's exactly what he wanted to do. Let's see if Reber can regroup after this round. He's never had a round like that. He's never tasted the canvas like this. Let's see if he's going to be able to come back after a round like that.
Don't let him grab you. Do not let him grab you.
This is not you. This is not you.
Don't let him grab you. He can't fight.
You need to double up on the jab, and you need to bring the right hand. You're being too preservative.
Stop.
Let me give you some instructions. Look, you need the jab, and you need to get out of the way, son.
You can see right here, Perez just continues to land these little short punches right there. Something Reber is just not used to. Trying to back up a little on the ground there.
Don't give him a hold. You're giving him too much hold.
And Perez just continues to pour it on. Like I said, this is his range. He wants to be in a phone booth. He wants to keep you from the full extensions of your punches. He doesn't care if he hits you really hard or really something, as long as he continues to hit you. Death by 1,000 cuts.
Call of knuckle up from Mike Beltran, one of the best pro MMA referees in the world. Incidentally, this is his BKFC debut. Welcome to Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, Mike Beltran. This is a fast sport, and these are 2 fast 135-pounders. Step in left hand, a big right hand on the entry from Derek Perez.
Right back where Perez wants to be, right in his range. And look at those, I mean, unbelievable volume right there for Perez. Nothing unusual right there, exactly what we expected, but man.
Reber playing a lot of defense. Derek Perez playing all offense thus far in this fight. 80 seconds remaining round 2. Reber uppercut to the body. Rear right uppercut from Perez. Just missed the chin of Ryan Reber. Good refereeing from Beltran, keeping this fight flowing. Perez coming forward again. There's the left hand, right hand, long straight punches, but a counter right hand from Reber. Reber trying to land with his back against the ropes. Perez walking through these shots, but takes that left hand.
So we talked about the last fight. Royal Reber said he has to land that 1-2 at range. If he's not able to stay at range, it's hard for him to get that power in there.
Watch your fingers.
Reber stepping in with the 1-2. Good slip, now the turn. Perez short right hands from the modified waist cinch. You see the framing of Derek Perez. He has been outstanding to this point in the clinch.
Stop! Right! Knuckle up!
Driving pressure again from Derek Perez. Reber cut outside of his left brow. Separation again from Beltran. Final seconds, round number 2. Good step in right hand from Ryan Reber, trying to pull himself back into this fight.
Reber throwing hard shots
Reber
right
lands
now.
the right hand. We move to round 3.
I mean, Reber throwing and landing some hard shots, but is it going to be enough? Is it the volume right now? So many more punches are being thrown and landed by Perez. Really wearing Reber down right now, but Reber does find time when he just stops, plants, and lands hard shots.
That is Derek Perez's wife, Brittany Horton. She's also a BKFC fighter in his corner.
And here's a great exchange, brother. You can just see the difference in power being thrown by Reber. However, doesn't seem to bother Perez, and just that volume. Just keep coming forward with consistent punches, not as hard punches.
I need you to let your hands go. Stop this foolishness. I need you to double up, and I need the 4. He's open for it. We're keeping as close as we can as that hole. You got to throw this thing.
I said Reber in a very difficult fight, something he has not faced yet.
Round number 3 underway. Ryan Reber down in round number 1. Still very much in this fight. An outstanding 2 rounds for Derek Perez. Perez coming to the inside. There's the left-hand counter right from Reber. This is where Perez has done his best work, driving pressure. Reber back against the ropes, the separation from Mike Beltran.
Reber just waiting to unload that right hand, throw it right down the pipe. He feels like he needs to land that shot. Good body work by Reber right there.
Look under from Reber. You see that trickle of blood, the cut outside of his left brow, which opened in the latter stages of round 2. Perez right back to the inside.
Problem right now, Perez is just pushing forward and wrapping up. He's not throwing punches in there like he was earlier.
Chris, go back to our fighter meeting. Perez said, I believe Reber will start to fade in round number 2 if it gets that far due to my relentless pace. We've now reached the halfway line of round number 3.
It's like Perez is starting to tire a little bit. He's still throwing punches. Reber's starting to come back.
Ryan Reber exploding in as you see Perez cut outside of his right brow. To the insertion of the mouthpiece, Perez back in chest to chest. Both fighters cut. There's the step-in jab from Ryan Reber. Overhand right misses from Perez. Good jab from Reber. Reber with the big right hand. Back into the clinch. 25 seconds remaining, round number 3.
You just get a sense right now that Reber's really starting to feel it. He's getting his second win.
Reber on the entry left hook. Perez walked into that, and indeed he walked through it right back into the clinch. Chest to chest. Perez staying heavy thus far in the clinch. Perez now to the body. Straight right hand and another right hand from Reber on the jab from Perez just before the bell. We move to round 4.
This is a battle right here, Sean.
Here's what I'm seeing, son.
Both these guys are really laying it out there. Really impressed right now with what Ryan Reber's been able to do to withstand those first 2 rounds and come back. Look at that beautiful left hand he landed that knocked the mouthpiece out of Perez. Perez is tough as nails. You can hit him with everything. It doesn't seem to bother him at all.
I don't know what else you want to hear me say. I don't know what else you want me to
Knocking
say.
the mouthpiece out again. Just that mouth is wide open for Derek Perez. You can tell he's tired right now.
This thing is over. Get out there and let your goddamn hands go. I ain't playing with you, boy. Open your mouth. You better open up your hands. You understand that? We ain't down here for nothing. If you're not gonna listen to me, I don't need to get up here on this apron. Get out there and let your hands go.
Very emphatic in the corner right there of Ryan Reber. His coaches are pleading with him to be more active with those hands. Because almost everything he's throwing, he's landing, Sean.
Medical timeout called by referee Mike Beltran. Awaiting the start of round number 4 will be the assessment of the cut in the right brow of Derek Perez. There's Dr. Don Muzi, Chief Medical Officer of BKFC. This fight will continue.
Hey. Hold the line.
The fighters up to scratch. Round number 4. Staying on the outside, trying to find the range. Perez looking for the entry. This is with the overhand right from the southpaw stance.
Perez is slowed down enough right there. He's kind of a target. That's what I was about to say. He's a target right now for Reber.
It was a big 1-2, especially on the 2 for Reber. Entry hook for Ryan Reber.
You talk about when Reber can stand at the end of his punches. That's when he's dangerous.
Reber on the left hook. Perez waves him forward.
Waving him forward. You cannot take too many more of those shots. He's a bloody mess right now, Sean.
Long jab from Ryan Reber.
Reber's really starting to find his range.
Reber step in right hand. Counter right hand from Perez. Reber coming forward from the center circle off the fast jab.
And this is where Reber's talking about. He really shows that he's faster than his opponent right now. Perez looks a little tired, so these punches are just coming easily for him.
See the fast 1-2s of Ryan Reber. Big right hand left hook from Reber. Left hand again. More big shot from Reber. Mike Beltran taking a really close look. There is the finish and the come from behind win for Ryan Reber.
Unbelievable job for Reber, Sean. That was his best performance, in my opinion. Really proved a lot to me and probably to himself right there. It'd been easy so far. He walked through everybody at a tough time against Travis Townsel, but he's a tough guy to fight against any opponent right there. So that was just a great fight for Reber.
See the other guy.
Man.
God damn.
Look at Reber. You can tell his corner really got into that fight at the end of the fight right there. That last round, he really yelled at him. He really let it go. You have to let your hands go. He listened, and look what happened. Look at the results. Look at that beautiful 1-2. Every time he threw that 2 and it landed right at the end of his punch, it did damage. And once he smelled blood, once he knew that Perez was not going to throw back, he just unloaded on his opponent, Sean, and made the referee stop. If you're standing there, if it's one-sided, if you're not throwing back, they are going to stop it.
Ryan Reber talked to us in our fighter meeting about his hand speed, which he felt was vastly superior to Derek Perez. His hand speed shone through in round number 3, and especially Chris in round number 4 to the finish. Our final strike stats for this phenomenal bantamweight bout, presented by Bucked Up Energy.
And you can see so many more punches thrown and landed right there for Derek Perez. However, it was the power punches that did it. It was the punches from Ryan Reber, the power, and you can just see, look at that last round. Almost 4-to-1 punches thrown, a lot more even that landed. Look at that percentage right there for Reber. He felt like once Perez slowed down, all he had to do was unload. His corner told him that. They were 100% correct.
This is just our second card of the year for BKFC, and that is an early fight of the year candidate. Well done from Ryan Reber and Derek Perez. And Ryan Reber now 5-0 in BKFC. Here's Jeff Houston.
Ladies and gentlemen, our referee in charge, Mike Beltran, steps in and calls a stop to this fight at 1 minute 14 seconds into round number 4. For your winner by TKO and still undefeated, Royal Ryan Reber.
And Sean, a lot of people did not know if he was ready to go to the next level. That fight right there proves that he is, in my opinion. He dealt with adversity and he passed with flying colors.
Ryan Reber knocked down in round number 1 off the canvas to record the finish in round number 4. Phenomenal fight from both men. The winner by way of 4th round TKO, Ryan Reber defeats Derek Perez.
Welcome to the new BKFC app. Get monthly BKFC events for $7.99.
This is the best show in combat sports.
Enjoy our all-new library of content, including behind-the-scenes access, exclusive BKFC original series, and additional live bare-knuckle fights from around the globe. Knuckle up with the new BKFC app, only $7.99 per month.
Friday, September 13th, the purest form of combat returns for BKFC 66. In the main event, the undefeated Cuban sensation Alberto Blas puts his bantamweight title on the line for the very first time against the unbeaten number 2 contender, Royal Ryan Reber, who's ready to claim his crown. Plus a stacked card with many more bare-knuckle scraps. Watch the world's most exciting combat sport live on the BKFC app. Download it at bkfc.com.
In the lightweight division, Howard Davis versus Sean Wilson.
A little bit of a height advantage, a reach advantage for Howard Davis, and he's gonna need it. He's gonna have to do some amazing stuff to keep this guy off him.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now set for the main event. Scheduled for 5 2-minute rounds in the lightweight division. Presented to you by Bucked Up Energy Drink. Get bucked up. Sanctioned by the Florida State Boxing Commission. Assistant Executive Director Timothy Shipman. The 3 judges scoring our main event: John Rupert, Lorenzo Toledo, Eliseo Rodriguez. And the 3rd man inside the squared circle, our referee in charge of the action at the bell, Andrew Glenn. And now, with our bare-knuckle fans watching live worldwide on the BKFC app and Fubo TV, from the sold-out Viva Plaza! Fight fans of Miami! It's time to knuckle Introducing you first, fighting out of the red corner. Tonight he wears black. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall. His official weight, 155.8 pounds. His BKFC record stands at 3 victories opposite a single defeat. Fighting out of Papillion, Nebraska, here is Sean Wilson. And across the ring, his opponent, fighting out the blue corner. Tonight he wears crimson and black. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall. His official weight, an even 154 pounds. His bare knuckle fighting record stands at 6 victories opposite 2 defeats with 1 fight even. He is the former #1 featherweight title challenger, fighting out of Broward County, Florida. Here is Howard H.D. Davis.
With MMA, boxing, and BK, this is Sean Wilson's 100th professional combat sports bout. Both fighters at the scratch, round number 1.
HD's gonna have to establish that jab and establish it quick. And he's gonna have to hit with it because this guy's looking for a chance to come in and end it all with 1 shot.
Red trunks for Howard Davis, black trunks for Sean Wilson. Davis right now at his preferred range, that is long range.
And Sean's stalking because when he comes, he's coming, and he's gonna stay in there. So look for a couple of moments of hesitation, and then a big blast to the inside, and big punches coming.
See the crouch, the level change from Sean Wilson. Looking for his entry, trying to fight it there off the left hand. Good elusive movement to his right from Davis.
That's right. There's no secrets in this fight. Everybody knows Davis has to stay on the outside and be the clean, crisp sniper he can be, and everybody knows that Sean has to get on the inside and land big punches.
And you saw the deep crouch and again on cue from Sean Wilson.
Nice jab. No better way to establish the distance, dominance over the distance than to land a crispy, clean jab. Do not get overconfident. Howard Davis.
Literally running into the pocket on the left hook, Sean Wilson. Turn out from Davis. Davis now the jab to the body. 45 seconds remaining. Round number 1 of our main event. We're at 155 pounds. Counter on the right hand. Sean Wilson told us that is his key punch in this fight, that overhand right.
HD has to be very careful of the punches
from Sean Wilson.
And running in the shots as well. He's already cut above his breast. The fight's changing quickly.
Davis staying long, circling on the outside. And the deep crouch, looking for the level change, Sean Wilson.
The counter right hand is one of the most dangerous punches in BKFC because when you go in thinking you got a guy, he gets you.
1-1-2 from Davis, that backs off Wilson.
That is a nasty cut above his eye.
That ends round number 1.
I think that Sean Wilson hurt his hand on that shot, but I think that he also hurt Howard Davis's face. The sound of that punch was absolutely disgusting. You people at home need to be here so you can hear how it sounds when bone hits face. We're looking at a very calm and collected Sean Wilson. He knows he landed a big shot. He knows he landed a dangerous shot. HD is going to have to come out of this corner with a little bit of urgency. He's going to have to cut the guy, drop the guy, or something.
First up to scratch to start round number 2, Sean Wilson. Now up to scratch, Howard Davis. Well, with knuckle up from referee Andrew Glenn, and round number 2 underway. Trying to explode in off the left hand, Sean Wilson. Jab and the open hand parry from Wilson. We saw him do that champ in round number 1.
That's right. This is the time where you get to see what you're really made of. You're already hurt. The first game plan is out the window. Now it's time to establish yourself in this ring.
The jab, left hook, left hand again from Wilson.
I love to see when fighters double the punch, because it's often that you can get out the way of the first one, but the second one usually works.
Wilson on the lateral movement.
Sean's doing a really good job of pressing when he wants to and staying out of HD's range.
There's the overhand right kick.
Another amazing, amazing knockdown. I barely saw it. I think it was a shot to the jaw, and it may be over.
Wilson up at 8. It was to the body and then to the jaw with the left hand of Howard Davis.
He better go and finish. He better go and finish now, because it looks like it's over.
We'll see how hard now Howard Davis goes for the finish. On the right hand, there is the answer. Big swings now in the place from Davis.
Howard Davis is going for it.
Knockdown number 2.
Talk about a fight. I think it's over, people. Way to go in there and get yours.
The count of 8. And 8 again is Sean Wilson.
It's over. Victor God. HD Davis pulls it off, and it was amazing. I see you, baby.
Okay, just sit down, buddy.
Sometimes you have to go through adversity to prove that you really want to be here.
Let's go, you him.
And he did it tonight, people. HD took a nice overhand right. And for most people, that shot right above the eye would have changed the dynamic of the fight, and he may have lost this fight. Either doctor stoppage. That was a crispy uppercut. And I said before the fight, HD is very good at landing uppercuts. Again, body. Just a finish by punch of fruition. He just gave it up. He was still rocked from the first time. He got a 15 count on the first time he got up, but he didn't want to fight no more. He did not want to fight no more. It was all set up by that amazing knockout. Anytime a fighter has the job of creating the entry, he runs the risk of getting knocked out with an uppercut.
That is a high-quality win for Howard Davis against a high-quality opponent in Sean Wilson. Again, for Wilson, who had an excellent round number 1. This is his 100th professional combat sports bout. Howard Davis, though, turning the tempo of this fight in round number 2, knocking down Sean Wilson twice to the finish.
That was a devastating uppercut. Well-placed, well-timed. Patience, practice makes perfect.
Howard Davis now 6 victories in BKFC. Huge disappointment for Sean Wilson, who I think until the point of the first knockdown in round number 2, champ, thought that he was in control of this fight.
He definitely was. It was a little bit scary. I'll say that because of his size and strength, for him to land not 1, but 2 clean right hands to Howard Davis and open him up like that in the early first round. This fight could have easily went his way.
Those are 2 A-list fighters in BKFC, and that was an A+ performance and victory for Howard Davis. Here's Jeff Houston.
Ladies and gentlemen, our referee in charge, Andrew Glenn, steps in and calls a stop to this fight at 1 minute 34 seconds into round number 2. For your winner by TKO, Howard HD Davis!
All right, standing in here with HD. That is how you finish a fight, my friend. And when you look up and down your record, that's all you do is finish fights. You did it again right here in Miami. How you feeling about that one?
First of all, I want to give all these blessings that I have today to my Lord and my Savior, God. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here. I would not be standing here, and I put that on everything. I just want to thank God first for everything, and then David Feldman, my manager, Victor Demesman, Nelson, and everybody that's behind me, my coach, Ada, all my friends, all my supporters here tonight. Thank you, guys.
Now, listen, we know you've been a player in the featherweight division. You fought for that title. You're here in the lightweight division. When you look forward and you look at that next fight, you got somebody in your crosshairs right now who you want to go after.
His name James Brown. I'm going to keep my son. Wait till he get in this ring in Miami. June, whenever we fight him, I'm putting.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Howard H.D. Davis.
Howard Davis showed us some amazing, impressive fight, high IQ. He ran into a big shot early, but I always like to see when fighters can come back from adversity. He went right back to the game plan, firing from long range and establishing and making it hard for him to get inside. He made a mistake when he came in with his head down, caught a nice uppercut, and the rest is game, set, match.
A very good round number 1 for Sean Wilson, and an outstanding round number 2 for Howard Davis. 2 knockdowns of Sean Wilson in the second round to the finish. In our main event of the evening, the winner by way of second round TKO, Howard Davis defeats Sean Wilson.
Welcome to the new BKFC app. Get monthly BKFC events for $7.99.
This is the best show in combat sports.
Enjoy our all-new library of content, including behind-the-scenes access, exclusive BKFC original series, and additional live bare-knuckle fights from around the globe. Knuckle up with the new BKFC app, only $7.99 per month.
Friday, September 13th, the purest form of combat returns for BKFC 66. In the main event, the undefeated Cuban sensation Alberto Blas puts his bantamweight title on the line for the very first time against the unbeaten number 2 contender, Royal Ryan Reber, who's ready to claim his crown. Plus a stacked card with many more bare-knuckle scraps. Watch the world's most exciting combat sport live on the BKFC app. Download it at bkfc.com.
We now move to a bout in the featherweight division. Our tale of the tape is presented by Russia for James Brown versus Bovar Honakov.
And you can see here there is a slight 3-inch height advantage for James Brown, but it is that huge reach advantage, 77 inches. That is going to be huge because James Brown has great movement, wants to stay outside. He wants to make Bovar step in close and make him pay every time he does.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are set for the next fight of the night, scheduled for 5 2-minute rounds in the featherweight division, presented to you by Russia. Upgrade to champion mindset with Russia. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner. Tonight he wears silver and black. He stands at even 6 feet tall. His official weight, 143.6 pounds. Tonight, he steps into the squared circle ready for bare knuckle fight number 7. Fighting out of Mariupol, Donetsk Oblast, Ukraine. Here is Bovar, the Gladiator, Honakov. And across the ring, his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner. Tonight, he wears black and gold. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall. His official weight, an even 146 pounds. He is undefeated in the squared circle at 2-0. Fighting out of Wilmington, North Carolina. Here is the undefeated James Get Down Brown. And our referee in charge of the action, Andrew Glenn.
Bovar Honakov told us, I cannot allow James Brown to control from the outside. I have to look for smart entries, move him backwards, round number 1. Immediately on the outside is the American from Wilmington, North Carolina, James Brown. Black and yellow trunks. The proud Ukrainian, black and silver trunks from Bovar Honakov.
That's where Brown wants to stay right there. Stay outside, control the range.
It's high and tight for Honakov. You can see him already looking for the entries, Chris. Trying to do so on the right hand, couldn't find it. Smirk on the face of James Brown, staying long, sticking that long jab towards the face of Honakov from his southpaw stance. See Honakov in the orthodox stance, keeping his lead left hand intentionally low, trying to bait in Brown.
Brown's got to be careful. He's got that chin up.
Big left hand. As you see the footwork staying fluid. Fighters very active with their respective lead hands. Left hand again getting through from Hotukov. Hotukov now cut on his forehead, right to the body from Brown. Chant of USA in favor of James Brown and his Manassas, Virginia crowd. Left hand from Hotukov. Took that well, resetting. Now you see the gamesmanship from Labon Hotukov. Of Conor McGregor. His hand behind his back. Left hand. Downward on the two. Missing from Brown to the body. There's the left hand. Counter left right back from Brown after Hotukov landed.
Brown has an ability to cut people over. He must have really sharp knuckles because, man, his fights, the opponent always seems to get cut.
In the halftime club, you see the spear of blood across the face of Bovar Hotukov. That's round number one. On the straight left hand from Brown. Chris, we always talk about range fights thus far. Quintessential range fight. There is the bell.
Man, Hotukov's face is already a little bit of a wreck. It's like he's got 2 to 3 cuts right there. James Brown has a slight cut over his left eye as well, but in that cut I'm seeing on Bovar's face right there. Hopefully they can stop that. If not, that's going to be a problem.
You see Derek Brunson in the corner of his fighter, James Brown. Derek Brunson getting animated with his hands, Chris.
Not sure what he's saying right now. I'd like to hear it.
Seconds out called.
Take a look at this.
Medical timeout called by referee Andrew Glenn.
What a good first round. Let's hope they don't stop it right there. I tell you, I didn't like the look of that cut, though.
Dr. Don Buzzi, Chief Medical Officer of BKFC, working tonight in conjunction with the Commission's side physician.
Let's see if there's a sense of urgency right now for Bovar. He knows they're looking at that cut. He's got to land some hard shots.
That was slick. An up jab. Step in right hand and the counter right hand from Brown. Fast counters thus far, Chris.
Very fast.
Both to the body. Brown largely has been keeping this fight at his range, which is on the outside. There's the left hand from range. Brown staying fluid long. Hotukov continually looking for the entries. There's the entry left hand. Brown pulls back. 80 seconds remaining. Round number 2. We're in the featherweight division. Big fight for both men in BKFC. Brown entering 2-0. Hotukov 1-1 in the promotion.
Hotukov has got to start getting inside. He can't stay out at that range. He's got to get inside.
All stands for Brown coming forward. Brown talked about just this, Chris. Staying outside, but coming forward while staying outside.
Pinpoint accuracy right now for James Brown.
Jab again from Brown. The chant of Bovar. The Hotukov supporters here in Virginia. Staff jab again from Brown and another. 3 cuts on the face of Bovar Hotukov. And now taking the knee is James Brown.
That body shot. Bovar's been landing a lot of right hands to the body. That one did some damage. Let's see if Bovar tries to keep going that body and finishing this off.
Here's the mandatory 8 count. Brown took the body shot, took a pause, step back, took the knee, and now Brown sees the full momentum as Bovar Hotukov. We move to round 3.
Great job, really, by James Brown. If he's hurt right there, he's got to take a knee. I think he feels like all he has to do is make this fight keep going. He feels like they're going to stop and do the cuts. He continues to land, continues to cut his opponent up. But it was just that nice, like a left. Maybe that's what did the damage. I thought it was a body punch. That was a hook. That was a left hand that did the damage.
Brown steps back, resets. And with full eye contact towards Bovar Honakov, willingly takes the knee.
Not sure why I thought that was a body punch. Maybe it was his reaction, the way he took a step back and knelt down. I mean, Bovar landed some good body punches right there, and that was not what caused that knockdown. Let's see if they can stop those cuts right there. Bovar can get back in, land another hard shot like that.
Took the knee. Clear cut across the board. One would think. 10-8 round for Bovar Honakov. Number 3. Left hand, that lands flush from Brown.
Brown has some great counters.
Honakov staying fluid on the outside, but clearly from the knockdown punch, Bovar Honakov emboldens to come forward.
James Brown has a good ability to back up and still land some hard punches. Most people can't back up and land hard shots.
Honakov moving his feet, moving his head, moving his hands, looking for the entries. Find it there. A back step from Brown. 10 remaining, round number 3. Pull off the right hand, swinging it from the right of his own from Brown. Short right hand, the counter from Honakov with his back against the ropes.
Bovar was hurt right there.
Stiff jab again from Brown.
And this is what Brown needs to do. Stay in his range, not in his opponent's range. Doing a perfect job of that right now.
So left hand from Brown. Step hand, right hand from Honakov. Both fighters continue to land.
Bovar's face is turning into a wreck right now. He needs to get in and land some hard shots.
Left hand on the turn. 30 seconds remaining, round 3. And the duck out from Honakov on the turn, but then throw the right hand.
I'm just really impressed with James Brown's ability to counter punch right here.
Almost a back fist that would be illegal from Brown. Warning though from referee Andrew. And acknowledges the 10-second clap. And you see the gamesmanship from Honakov. Literally stopping, putting his heads down, telling Brown, let's go. We move to round 4.
I mean, the face right now, Bovar has got to do something a little different. He cannot stay in James Brown's range. Avoiding one punch and coming in, and he's taking the counter. He's got to push forward with 2 or 3 steps and push James Brown backwards, throwing punches in. So he's got to let the combinations go as he's coming in.
Chris, we're not saying this is our opinion or this is fact, but we're speculating that if the 3 Virginia judges saw rounds 1 and 3 for James Brown, clearly one would think Honakov getting that knockdown of Brown in round 2, that's a 10-8. Very likely it's 28-28 right now heading into round 4.
I think the main thing here is Brown is doing such a good job of landing these little punches, getting a lot of cuts. I wouldn't be surprised if the doctor's going to take another look at this.
We are going to get a medical timeout before the start of round number 4. Bovar Honakov with the expression of a man saying, why do you care? Why would you even look at my eye? They do care! This fight is over to the protestations of Honakov and James Brown fighting through adversity, now 3-0 in BKFC.
And look at the distraught on Bovar's face right now. So upset right there, especially when you get a knockdown. You feel like you're in the driver's seat right there. Very close and competitive fight, but man, James Brown showed an unbelievable ability to counter punch. So fast, so accurate with those punches.
Bovar Honakov absolutely gutted. The physician stoppage, multiple cuts on his face, and class in victory for James Brown, who was dropped by Honakov in round number 2. Now being congratulated by his head coach, Derek Brunson. Again, Chris, on the medical timeout, Bovar Honakov almost looked perplexed, like, why are you even assessing these cuts? Let me fight.
Sean, sometimes fighters are just too tough for their own good. They will continue to fight. They've trained so hard. They've had bad cuts before. They're like, this is nothing. I can keep going. Sometimes you have to have your coach throwing the towel or the doctor, or you're just going to keep fighting no matter what.
Chris, numerous fighters in our fighter meetings say, I will never quit. That's not always the case. Bovar Honikov says, I will never quit. That man will never quit.
That is very true.
Here is Jeff Houston.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the advice of our ringside physician, our referee in charge, Andrew Glenn, steps in and calls a stop to this fight at the conclusion of round number 3. For your winner by TKO and still undefeated, James Get Down Brown!
And Sean, with hands like that, with movement like that, James Brown is quickly putting himself in a position to be considered for a title.
Two high-level bare-knuckle fighters producing a high-level bare-knuckle fight. Strong round number 1 for James Brown. Honikov dropping Brown in round number 2. Brown seizing the momentum, and then the end. The winner by way of third-round TKO due to physician stoppage, James Brown defeats Bovar Honikov.
Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship is presented by Bucked Up Energy Drink. South Florida, where over 120 million visitors flock every year for the weather, beaches, and nightlife. But tonight, here in Hollywood, Florida, at the world-famous Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, they're here for the baddest show on earth, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. And we get things started with the preview. 3 hard-hitting fights that can really set the tone for the whole night, including fan-favorite Fames taking on Jim Polgar. In our co-main event tonight, a former title challenger at 145, Howard H.T. Davis has found a groove at lightweight, undefeated, knocking at the door for a championship title fight. In his path, undefeated finisher, 3-0, James Get Down Brown, who is ready for his shot at glory. And in the main event, the BKFC Bantamweight gold will be up for grabs. New champ Alberto Blas shocked the world when he decimated Keith Richardson to win the title, but waiting in the wings, 5-0, Royal Ryan Reber, who is just lacking the proverbial crown in the form of the BKFC Bantamweight Championship. And it's another sellout crowd starting to trickle in here at the Hard Rock Live, the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. BKFC 66 is officially on the air, and what a night it's going to be anytime we are here in our home away from home, the Hard Rock Live. We have big moments, monumental things, and folks, we just had a major announcement. The news is out that we have a multi-year partnership with DAZN. We are going to talk to David Feldman later on to see exactly what that means. So we'll hear from the president a little bit later tonight. An incredible card, including that championship main event. Right now we're in the preview, but if you want to be a part of the entire show, $7.99 on the BKFC app. You can get it on any app store, stream it to any device, and not only will you get the entire show tonight, you're also going to get our archives from all the Knucklemanias to BKFC 1 in Cheyenne, Wyoming. It's all there on the BKFC app, $7.99, and you are locked in tonight. What a night it is going to be here at the Hard Rock Live. A lot of fights to get to in our preview. So let's bring in our broadcast team, Sean Wheelock and Chris Lytle. When you talk about Alberto Blas, Sean, how dazzling he has been, you know, that's exciting. But a guy like Ryan Reber, he may just be that gritty, roughneck challenger that could derail the champ.
Cyrus, this is a really intriguing main event. You said it. This is for the BKFC 135-pound world title. The undefeated champion, Alberto Blas, versus the undefeated challenger, Ryan Reber. Both fighters, obviously, massive success at BKFC. Very different approaches.
Absolutely. Reber likes to stay outside, stay long, try and land that long too, but just continue to dominate the entire fight. You want to do more of a death by 1,000 cuts, not one punch knockout power, but just try and dominate the whole fight. Blas, on the other hand, he's never been past one round. Why? Because he hits so hard, so powerful, such an athlete. He just wants to get in and do the fight right away and knock you out. Whoever's able to implement that game plan and dictate the pace of the fight is probably going to win.
Well, it's going to be a very special main event for the Bantamweight Championship that's later on tonight. Now, Chris, the odds are out. So if you want to lay some money down, you want to make some money, of course, with our betting partner, Kurgo. What's a fight when you look up and down the card that looks good odds-wise?
A lot of money to be made here. So much going on. Geez, let me have to go with the tough one here. I'm going to go with Leo Carrera. I mean, this guy's fantastic, and at minus 162, I think that's a great bet.
There you go. You can bet with Kurgo. Let's take a look at the rules for Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. All fights scheduled for 5 2-minute rounds. Fights are scored by 3 judges on a 10-point must system. Hand wraps must be at least 1 inch below the bare knuckles. Punching in the clinch is allowed. No 3 knockdown rule. No being saved by the bell in any round. No kicks, knees, elbows, takedowns, or submissions. And now let's go to your first Tell of the Tape, brought to you by Bucked Up Energy.
We open tonight with a bout in the welterweight division. Jumanov versus Rain Wells.
All right, and you can see very similar on the Tail of the Tape. Exact same reach, 1 inch height difference.
We don't have.
Same fist size, these two on Tail of the Tape, extremely even.
This is fight number 2 in BKFC for Rain Wells. He's also had 2 pro MMA bouts. Wells is naturally right-handed. In our fighter meeting, he told us he will continually switch stances in this fight. Wells also said, I don't want to rush her early, and I want to establish my counter strikes.
He feels like he wants to stay in the middle of the ring this time. Understands a lot more than he did the first time. He's got to get a feeling out process going on. Then he can dissect his opponent and really step up the punching.
Wells also told us, I am definitely willing to take punches to land my counters. He said, I feel that I will be faster than my opponent in this welterweight bout, Almat Jumanov. Of Almat Jumanov, the fighter from Kazakhstan, Rain Wells said, I think he's mainly going to throw jabs and hooks to my head. I have to be ready for his big swings. I want to stay long, but on my front foot, not on my back foot, Wells told us.
And that's the main thing, Sean. Keep his distance, and he does so by throwing straight punches the entire time. If he can throw straight punches, beat his opponent with those wild hooks, he knows straight punches work better.
Rain Wells said, I want to avoid the clinch. I want to keep moving. I know that my opponent has power, but I am not intimidated by that power.
He's not intimidating because he understands what beats power: cardio. He feels like he has great cardio. He can move the entire time, stay in the right ways, win that way.
With the flag of his native Kazakhstan, Almat Jumanov set for fight number 1 in BKFC. Jumanov is 3-1-1 in his pro MMA career, 2-0 in pro boxing. Jumanov has weighed as much as 245 pounds, and when he did so, he was competing in strongman competitions throughout Kazakhstan and throughout Eastern Europe. At one point, Jumanov held the world record for pulling a 105-ton locomotive 13 meters. That's approximately 43 feet. Now weighing in at 163.3 pounds for this fight, Jumanov said, I feel that I have still retained huge strength. I believe I'm an extremely strong welterweight. Jumanov said, I want to immediately establish my jab and then throw hard, straight punches.
So this guy is so interesting. You see him pulling trains, pulling airplanes. He pulls everything. Just an extremely strong, powerful guy. So he feels like he's very heavy-handed, wants to download a lot of information early and then throw a lot of straight, long punches from the outside.
To get our evening started, we send it to the always outstanding Jeff Houston.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you and welcome to our favorite place to start a fight, Hard Rock Live, here in beautiful Hollywood, Florida. And we welcome you to BKFC 66. BKFC for review begins tonight with 5 2-minute rounds in the welterweight division, presented to you by Bucked Up Energy Drink. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner, tonight he wears brown. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, his official weight, 165.7 pounds. Tonight he toes the line for the second time. Fighting out of Mount Vernon, Washington, here is Rain, the guy on the couch, Wells.
Let's go.
And across the ring, his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner. Tonight he wears red and blue. He stands at an even 6 feet tall. His official weight, 163.3 pounds. He holds a combined combat sports record of 7 fights, and tonight makes his BKFC debut. Fighting out of Almaty, Kazakhstan, by way of Pahokee, Florida. Here is Almat, the Kazakh Titan, Jumanov. And our referee in charge of the action, David Braslow.
Almat Jumanov told us, I want to continually be first, but I will not throw wild punches. Right. Straight shots throughout.
Let's go. Knuckle up.
Both fighters up to scratch, sporting touch of hands. Round number 1. Red trunks for the Kazakh, Almat Jumanov. Brown trunks for the American, Rain Wells. Heavy into the clinch.
Stop.
And there's the separation from referee David Braslow. Going through the canvas on that separation, Rain Wells, and now Braslow calling time.
Time. Hey, fighter, get over here. I say stop, stop.
Brazlo giving a soft warning to Jumanov, telling him when I say stop,
Well,
stop, okay?
his eye is
You
already
go through
bothering him.
punching afterwards. It's accidental.
5 minutes on the timeout clock.
Wells is hurt already.
Ready to go?
He's got to be careful at the start of this restart.
Ready?
Brazlo telling Wells that punch was late but accidental. Again, Rain Wells has up to 5 minutes to continue.
Ready to go?
Wells telling Brazlo now he wants to continue. Time in. Right back to it. There's the right hand on the injury from Wells and another right hand. Big swings from Rain Wells. Now Jumanov coming forward. Hard straight punches, and that is a clean knockdown. No rule, they slip by David Brazlo.
And Wells is hurt once again. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to continue too much longer.
You ready? You ready?
Ruled a slip by David Brazlo twice already in round number 1. Wells has been on the canvas, but no knockdowns recorded. Right back to it, overhand right from Wells. Counter left hook from Jumanov. Jumanov on the 1-2. Blood on the face of both fighters. Faint step from Almat Jumanov. 60 seconds remaining round 1.
Jumanov wants to stay in the middle. Every time his opponent starts to back up, he backs up himself straight right in the middle of the ring.
Jumanov resetting, readjusting his trunks. Staying on his back foot, Rain Wells now looking to explode in off the jab from southpaw. Big uppercuts, and that is ruled a slip by David Brazlo.
Surprising, a punch landed.
Here you go. Let's go. Knuckle up.
See the cut under the right eye of Rain Wells. So officially no knockdowns recorded here in round number 1, even though Wells has been on the canvas 3 times. Hard left hand on the inside. Surely that's ruled a knockdown. Indeed it is by David Brazlo.
And Wells still looks very hurt. He's never looked like he's been okay since that first knockdown.
9.
Up at 9 is Rain Wells. This fight is over. And victory in fight number 1 for the Kazakh Almat Jumanov.
And that was considered the first knockdown, but Sean, from the very first time Wells hit the ground, he looked like he wasn't in the fight anymore. I'm not sure exactly what happened. He was cut underneath the eye. That must have done a lot more damage than we thought.
Big BKFC debut for Almat Jumanov. Dropping Rain Wells. Wells staggering up at 9. Referee David Brazlo then saying this fight cannot safely continue. Almat Jumanov now 1-0.
And just some of that inside fighting that went. That was the very first left hand. It might have been a little after the referee told him to stop, but in all defense for Jumanov, he doesn't really speak much English, so he might not have understood the commands. Here's the end. It wasn't much. I think it was just Wells was hurt from the beginning.
He's over 80 pounds lighter than when he was competing in strongman competitions throughout Eastern Europe and his native Kazakhstan. But Almat Jumanov, as a welterweight, showing big punching power against the very game Rain Wells. Officially just 1 knockdown in this fight, and that is the finish.
It's a good thing. You can see a significant cut right in the middle of the forehead of Jumanov.
Rain Wells was throwing big punches, but Almat Jumanov told us, I want to be first without being wild. He was aggressive. He showed his power to the finish. Here's Jeff Houston.
Ladies and gentlemen, our referee in charge of the action, David Brazlo, steps in, calling a stop to the fight at 1 minute 41 seconds into round number 1. For your winner by TKO, Almat, the Kazakh Titan, Jumanov.
And Jumanov showed a lot of power in his first fight, but what really impressed me was his ability to not get caught in the moment. Every time the fight broke, he went right back to the middle, stuck with the game plan. That's what impressed me about what he did tonight, Sean.
Not without adversity. You see the slice on his forehead, the abrasion under his left eye. But Almat Jumanov showing big punching power in his BKFC debut. Victorious by way of round 1 technical knockout, Almat Jumanov defeats Rain Wells.
Welcome to the new BKFC app. Get monthly BKFC events for $7.99.
This is the best show in combat sports.
Enjoy our all-new library of content, including behind-the-scenes access, exclusive BKFC original series, and additional live bare-knuckle fights from around the globe. Knuckle up with the new BKFC app, only $7.99 per month.
Let's go!
Tonight only, you'll receive 30% off all Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship apparel at bareknuckleshop.com. There's a huge selection of hats, t-shirts, hoodies, and more to choose from, with sizes and styles for everyone. Hurry and place your order now for this limited time, one-night only offer. Knuckle up and save 30% at bareknuckleshop.com.
To the cruiserweight division we go. Our tale of the tape is presented by Inkaholic Tattoos for Julio Perez versus Devontae Jeffrey.
And Sean Perez with a 2-inch height advantage, but more importantly, that 4-inch reach advantage. Those hard, straight punches, he wants to make Jeffrey come close so he can land those hard shots.
Devontae Jeffrey set for fight number 2 in BKFC. He's had 21 AMI MMA bouts. Jeffrey told us in our fighter meeting, I want to keep hooking off of slips, utilize excellent head movement. Jeffrey said, I will most definitely take chances to record a finish in this fight.
He doesn't want to overthink the fight this time. He's very well planning on going to the ropes, waiting. He feels like he can counter very well, catching his opponent coming in.
Of his opponent in this cruiserweight bout, Julio Perez, Devontae Jeffrey said, I believe that I will be much faster than Perez. I'm going to keep landing as he comes forward. I think Perez, Jeffrey told us, is going to rush forward with big, wild punches.
Well, as his opponent does so, he's going to throw these bombs. He's going to wear himself out. So Jeffrey wants to make sure he waits for the right time and then step it up as his opponent slows down. That's when he's going to do his best work.
The Cuban, now based in very nearby Miami, Florida, Julio Perez, set for bout number 2 in BKFC. Perez made his bare-knuckle fighting championship debut this past March. He defeated Corey Mogenberg by way of first-round knockout. In his native Cuba, Perez compiled a record of 28-1 in amateur boxing. Perez, a childhood friend of Leonardo Perdomo, who you will see later on this card versus Steve Banks. They were friends in Cuba. They're friends and training partners here in South Florida. Perez told us in our fighter meeting, I want to stay long, but I'm going to be very aggressive from range, hard punches from the outside.
Pressure, he can pressure, but he wants to do so cautiously from the outside. Stay in his range where he can land punches, but his opponent cannot. He wants to be very smart, very cautious, but yet very powerful.
Back we go to Jeff Houston.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are set for the next fight of the night, scheduled for 5 2-minute rounds in the cruiserweight division. Presented to you by Inkaholic Tattoos, Miami. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner. Tonight he wears blue, yellow, and white. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall. His official weight, 199.2 pounds. Tonight he toes the line for the second time. Fighting out of Orlando, Florida, here is Devontae, Mr. Unknown Jeffrey. And across the ring, his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner. Tonight he wears red. He stands 6 feet 4 inches tall. His official weight, an even 203 pounds. He is undefeated in the squared circle at 1-0. Fighting out of Miami, Florida, here is the undefeated Julio, the Cuban Horse, Perez. And our referee in charge of the action, David Braslow.
Fighters to the line.
Devontae Jeffrey told us, I believe I will be much faster than Julio Perez.
Ready?
I'm going to take myself to the ropes, plant my feet, and then land fast counters. Round number one, back to the ropes. By design goes Jeffrey, and there's a huge shot from Julio Perez.
And Jeffrey fell face first, didn't put his hands down. They're going to have to be careful on this one.
There's the stagger in the count. Just like that, Julio Perez now 2-0 in BKFC.
And we talked about him being heavy-handed, having power in both of those heavy hands, and he showed it. Unbelievable job. Just a very good punch. It landed right on the button, and you could tell how much damage that did. When Jeffrey hit the ground, his hands didn't even go down. His hit face first. That's why they stopped it immediately, Sean. As soon as the referee started counting, he was wobbly. There's no need to let that fight go on.
You see the protestations from Devontae Jeffrey, but these are crushing shots from Julio Perez.
See, just power shots coming the entire time. All it takes is one. And like I said earlier, when you go down and you don't put your hands down, you hit face first, they're going to stop that fight. That means you were out. You may wake up and you want to keep fighting. Absolutely not. That's a problem. As a fighter, you don't remember getting knocked out. You don't remember that. All you remember is getting back up. You're like, what? I'm fine. No, you're not. You were just unconscious.
Good work from referee David Braslow, breaking off his count. He saw the stagger of Devontae Jeffrey, and phenomenal work from the Cuban, now based here in South Florida, Julio Perez. 28-1 in his native Cuban amateur boxing, now 2-0 with emphasis in BKFC. Both wins by way of first round finish.
He has complete belief in his power, and now you can see why. If he lands, he's going to do some damage. Him and Perdomo don't like to go very long. They figure they're not getting paid by the hour.
Here's Jeff Houston.
Ladies and gentlemen, our referee in charge of the action, David Braslow, steps in, calling a stop to this fight at 13 seconds into round number one. For your winner by KO and still undefeated, Julio the Cuban Horse Perez.
And 13 seconds was not nearly enough time to see a little bit more of Perez. That's two fights. I want to see this guy fight again. We have to get him in there with somebody who can withstand that barrage of punches that he throws.
By design, as he told us in our fighter meeting, Devontae Jeffrey took himself back towards the ropes. He wanted to plant and then land fast counters. But by design, Julio Perez told us he would throw hard punches from the outside to the mid-range to the first round win. Victorious by way of round one knockout, Julio Perez defeats Devontae Jeffrey.
Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. We're bringing the most explosive fights in the world.
This is exactly what we thought this fight would be right here. Let's go. All right.
Oh, we got some fight right here. This is like a sport like no other.
There is no show in the world like the BKFC. We are all the way live from Satellite 5. I'm Brian Socha, and as always, so much to get into this week on the Bare Knuckle Show. We're glad you're hanging out.
Bare Knuckle just takes one shot. If he can land a good shot, he can do some damage.
6 new major signings, a new location overseas that we're going to be doing.
It gives me so much more energy and reason to go ahead and do what I do.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. It's inappropriate.
And here we are live, Hard Rock Live, the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel Casino in Hollywood, Florida. You are tuned into the preview, and what have you got? 2 stoppages, an incredible knockout just last fight. And as I said at the beginning of the program, this is how we set the tone for the entire night. I hate to say it, but we got to bait you in a little bit, because if you want to see more of that, you got to get the entire show. You got to get the entire event for BKFC 66. And if you want to do that, you got to get the BKFC app. $7.99. We'll see if we can pop that barcode up there. There it is. There it is, BKFC app. Stream it to any device, stream it to your television, however you want to do it. $7.99 gets you the entire show tonight. You know, and I know, that is an incredible value in combat sports. It's unprecedented. $7.99 for a championship card tonight here at the Hard Rock. And not only are you going to get the show, you're also going to get the incredible archives. If you like BKFC, then you're talking about every Knuckle Mania. You're talking about BKFC 1 through BKFC 65. We got all of it for you on the BKFC app, $7.99. Folks, it is going down here. As they are starting to file in, they are filling in the seats. It just kind of has that feeling that it's going to be a very special night here at BKFC 66, and we are glad that you're tuned in. So let's throw it back ringside. We got Chris Lytle, Sean Wheelock. Take it away, guys.
Cyrus, thank you very much, Chris. Let's talk about our main event. 2 undefeated fighters for the BKFC 135-pound strap. The champion Alberto Blas versus Ryan Reber. Similar size fighters. So often we talk about range fights being one fighter is much taller, much longer than the other. Similar reach, similar height. Reber is a bit longer, a bit taller, but radically different approaches. Blas comes from freestyle wrestling in his native Cuba. He was a member of their national team, an MMA base. Ryan Reber coming from professional boxing. Reber wants to stay long. He wants to use that boxing smooth style, looking for explosions, hard entries, fast punches on the inside, working the clinch as the champion Alberto Blas.
Blas is an animal when he goes out to fight. You can just see that wrestling style. He's so powerful, so athletic, so strong. He wants to get in there and wreak havoc. He hasn't been passed around. Why? Because he's gotten in. Every time he's close, he throws bombs, he throws power shots. When he's been on the outside, he has very fast, accurate hands. Reber, on the other hand, he wants to control you from the beginning of the fight to the end, showing that boxing pedigree he has. He'll stay long, he'll out-jab you, he'll move. He wants to land that big 2. He pushes off that back foot and lands that jab and that hard right. That's how he wants to dominate and control the ring, control the round the entire time, beat you from the beginning of the fight to the end. Different styles. Who can get out there and control that range is probably going to win this fight.
Chris, our co-main event set for the lightweight division, moving up from 145, where he challenged Kai Stewart here at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida, for the 145-pound strap. Now at 155, Howard Davis against the fighter who is undefeated in BKFC, entering 3-0, James Brown.
This is one of the most exciting fights on the card. The toughest one for me to pick, Sean. I was trying to figure out who was going to win. I went back and forth in this one because James Brown has been so difficult to beat with that footwork, so elusive. He moves so smoothly. He's hard to deal with, hard to touch, and he's long for this weight class. However, Howard Davis, the exact same size, reach everything identical on these guys, and he's a harder puncher. So it's going to be that power of Howard Davis is going to come in and land that hard shot, get the knockout on James Brown. Or James Brown going to be able to do what he's been able to against his other opponents, move, be slick, be hard to hit, cut people open, and win the fight that way.
Chris, the theme of undefeated fighters continues into our feature fight. The Cuban, now based here in Florida, Leonardo Perdomo. He was a member of Cuba's famed Olympic national boxing team. He moved to the United States before competing in the Olympics. That's where he was headed. He is 4-0 in Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, all 4 wins by way of first-round finish. Now he thinks he is headed towards being the BKFC heavyweight champion. He is facing Steve Banks. Steve Banks has had great success in Bare Knuckle. He's 3-1 in the sport, 2-1 promotionally in BKFC. He's fought in everything from 6-on-1 fights with our friend John Nutt's promotion in Thailand. I had him in MMA 14 years ago right here at Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. Muay Thai, kickboxing. He has had over 120 combined professional bouts of some type in combat sports. And Steve Banks feels that he definitely can figure out Leonardo Perdomo. He believes that he will win this fight.
Just a veteran as a combative sports fighter, and you can just tell the way he fights, he's very calm, very relaxed. He doesn't get emotional. He's ready to do anything that the opponent wants to fight. He can fight inside, outside. That's what happens when you fight that long. You know everything about the sport. But what he has to do, he has to go out there and he has to test his opponent's chin. He feels like nobody's been able to land a clean shot on Perdomo. The people who have claimed close, he thinks Perdomo doesn't like it. So he wants to go out there, test his chin early, and that's going to decide how the fight goes. And with Perdomo, man, this guy's just been phenomenal. Everything he does is with power. He throws hard. He comes out to finish you. I don't know what it is about our Cuban guys, but they're not going past 1 round. They must think, hey, if I can get this guy out of here, why make this go? They've had so many fights, so much boxing with that pedigree they have from that Cuban boxing team. they don't get rattled either. They're in there, they're relaxed the entire time. They just want to come in, take care of business, and get out.
So Cyrus, we've already seen 2 fights, 2 very quick first-round finishes, 10 fights to go. We love this card, and we really love that feature, that co-main, and that main event this evening here at Hard Rock Live.
100%, Sean. Nobody's ever been upset about too many knockouts on a card. I think we've said that a few times. And we are live from the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, BKFC 66, brought to you by Bucked Up, OnlyFans, Grunt Style Apparel, and Forged Irish Stout. And here we are indeed right here at the Hard Rock Live. A lot of excited folks making their way in here. Some VIPs. There's going to be some massive VIPs in here. It's South Florida. It's what they do. If you want to watch the entire show, $7.99 on the BKFC app. Download it right now. Best value in all of combat sports. You'll get it for a full month. You'll get the entire show. And you are going to get the exclusive archives. Every BKFC event that's ever happened is right there on the app. Get the BKFC app and get the entire show tonight. Now let's talk about this co-main event. It's our OnlyFans exclusive look. It's HD Howard Davis making his way in here. He's been here a few times. He's had some huge performances, and he is currently undefeated in lightweight. Could this be his destiny? A win over James Get Down Brown would be massive. And speaking of James Brown, undefeated. A lot of people counting him out against HD Davis, but this is one of the best in the featherweight division. He's undefeated for a reason. That is going to be an incredible co-main event at BKFC 66. Now let's go to our next Tale of the Tape, brought to you by Forged Irish Stout.
In the welterweight division, Fames versus Jim Polgar.
Sean, both these guys, 5'7". Polgar does have a slight 3.5-inch reach advantage, but it's a 10-pound weight difference, and I think it's going to be Fame's biggest advantage.
The Venezuelan with his home nation's flag, Jim Polgar. Now fighting out of nearby Miami, Florida, set for fight number 2 in BKFC. Polgar has also had 1 pro boxing bout. In our fighter meeting, Polgar told us, after fighting once in bare knuckle, I now really understand that punch placement is key in this sport. I'm going to throw straight, accurate punches. I'm not looking to throw wide hooks.
It feels like he has much better cardio, and he's going to have to use it because he understands he's going to have to use a lot of feints. Use that pendulum to have that head movement because he doesn't want to have his head right in the center because he knows it's all about defense in bare knuckle.
Polgar said, I'm going to keep pushing the pace. What I'm not going to do is reset and readjust. I want a high tempo throughout this fight.
So he wants to put his head in his opponent's chest, bang the whole time. He said he's going to swing big from the beginning of the fight to the end.
7 fights in BKFC for Fames, including August of last year when he defeated Aaron Sutterfield by first-round KO.
And Fames always trying to get in position where he can throw his hard, devastating shots. Like I was saying, in close, his opponent can throw punches, but they're not landing at the end of them. That's where you want to be, especially when you have the shoulder arms. You want to stay inside. You can see Fames understands the sport. This is his 7th fight. He's been successful for a reason. He knows when and how to fight.
This is fight number 8 promotionally in BKFC for Fames. Fight number 9 for Fames overall in the sport of bare knuckle. He holds a record of 4-0 in professional boxing. At our founder meeting, Fames told us he is focused on winning this fight round by round. He said emphatically and very clear-eyed, I'm not going to try to force the finish. I want to keep my opponent Jim Polgar at the end of my jab, and I'm going to continually be out of range when Polgar throws.
Well, he wants to make his opponent pay every time. Throw that jab, control the range, control the distance. feels like his opponent's best chance is by getting in and clinching. He can't let him do that the entire fight.
Fames also said, I have to be ready and willing to smartly take a backward step. I'm going to throw feints. I'm going to be smart, and I'm going to exude patience.
Well, that's where his experience has to come into play. He's got to be more technical. He's got to understand exactly how to control the range and control distance. Whoever controls the pace of the fight is going to be the winner of the fight.
Back to the ring, and Jeff Houston.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are set for the next fight of the night. Scheduled for 5 2-minute rounds in the welterweight division. Presented to you by Forged Irish Stout. Not here to take part, here to take over. Introducing to you first. Fighting out of the red corner, tonight he wears black and white. He stands 5 feet 7 inches tall. His official weight, 154.8 pounds. Tonight he steps into the squared circle ready for bare knuckle fight number 2. Fighting out of Miami, Florida, by way of Barquisimeto, Venezuela. Here is Jim Alexander Bulgar. And across the ring, his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner. Tonight he wears white and black. He stands 5 feet 7 inches tall. His official weight, 164.8 pounds. His overall BKFC record stands at 4 victories opposite 4 defeats. Fighting out of Miami, Florida, here is the Heartbreak Kid, Fames. And our referee in charge of the action, Sam Burgos.
Fames told us, I believe Jim Bulgar will try to make this an inside fight. I cannot allow him to control me in the clinch.
Knuckle up!
The call of knuckle up from referee Sam Burgos. Round number 1, white trunks for Fames, black trunks for Jim Bulgar. Fast jab from Fames from the southpaw stance. See Bulgar in the ortho stance. Quick jab from Fames.
And you could tell already Bulgar's going to wait to counter. Every time Fames throws a punch, Bulgar's throwing back immediately.
Lead right hook from Fames. Bulgar now forward pressure. Both men in the center circle. 3 straight right hands from Fames. That was clever. Bulgar just missing with the naked 2. There's the right hand getting through from Bulgar. Fames clean with the left hand. Naked right from Bulgar, then the naked left. The rear left hand from Fames landing flush. Fames open-handed block. And Fames turned that over.
Oh, you can see Fames feeling it.
65 seconds remaining, round number 1. Fames left hook, then right hook. Overhand right from Fames. And right hand once more. Backward step from Bulgar, now reset it. There's the smart backward step from Fames he was talking about in our fighter meeting. Fames on his front foot, readjusting. On the duck under, right hand, triple right hand from Bulgar, and that was creative and clever. Got a right hand right back from Fames, left hand. 30 seconds remaining, round number 1 of this welterweight fight. Fames you see measuring. Referee Sam Burgos telling Fames don't grab. You can measure, you just cannot grab.
Fames is looking so relaxed as he's fighting, waiting for the right time, hands down, but when he fires, it's on point.
Head movement from Fames.
10 seconds, gentlemen.
Final seconds, round number 1. Good entry right hand. Bulgar initiating that clinch. Hard shoulder bump. Another one from Bulgar. That is the end of the first round.
Excellent round for Fames. He landed so many clean shots. Control the pace, just having his hands in position that he just looks like he's winning the fight. Looks so relaxed and so confident. That means a lot in the judge's eyes. Here's a little bit of the handiwork. Fames getting just out of the way of the counter punch, landing his shots. A good counter right hand. The only problem for Fames has been he feels like he starts to get tired at times and doesn't have the volume. If he can keep up that pace, it's going to be hard to beat.
Referee Sam Burgos just went to the corner of Fames. He said you cannot legally grab the wrist, the hands, the arms of your opponent, Jim Bulgar. It's subtle, Chris. You do it exceedingly well. You can hand trap You can parry down, you just cannot grab.
You grab it and you throw it down. You move it right away. You can't grab it and hold it.
Round number 2. Fast jab from Fames after the feint step from Polgar. 1-1-2 coming forward from Polgar. Fames heavy, wide stance on the back foot.
Fames doing a better job of getting outside that lead foot. Polgar's coming straight in. Whoever steps outside that lead foot is usually winning.
Double naked left hands from Fames. Both fighters showing speed, showing creativity here. Still early stages of this fight. 90 seconds remaining, round number 2. Hook from Fames, definitely blocked from Polgar. There's the entry right hand from Polgar. Didn't land flush. Did take Fames off his striking line. Polgar using that to enter the right hand. Overhand right from Polgar, just off the mark.
Fames doing a good job of ducking the head, getting out of the way of that right hand. Polgar needs to turn that into an uppercut.
Very subtly, the momentum shifting back and forth between Fames and Jim Polgar. Right hand just off the mark from Fames. Polgar again resetting. Off the double jab. Clean left hook from Fames.
And that was just a good straight from Fames that landed clean. That good head movement displayed by Fames.
There's that naked left again from Fames. He's timing that too exceedingly well. Head movement. Polgar, the entry big left hand.
Good job by Polgar.
Polgar now coming through the center circle. Fames on his back foot, takes that right hand, big left hand and overhand right.
Polgar doing a better job of throwing combinations. Fames is more one punch at a time. Oh, good job by Polgar.
That is a clean knockdown.
That was a great job by Polgar. He stayed on his opponent. Fames tried to get away with the hands down. You cannot do that in bare knuckle.
You're good. Come to me.
Up at 8 is Fames. Right back to it. That ends round number 2.
And like I said, Fames tried to get out of there without keeping his hands up. He tried to walk away. He didn't know Polgar was going to follow him. That's exactly what you need to do, what Polgar did. Follow your opponent and wait for his hands to be down. Hit him when he doesn't see him. That was a very close, competitive round. Polgar stayed on his opponent the entire time. That's where he got that knockdown. And a 10-8 round now, that could be huge in this fight. And here's a little bit of the handiwork. Polgar getting in, throwing some hard shots. And as Fames tried to get away, straight right. Whatever I teach guys about boxing, fighting, I would say you gotta keep your eyes on the opponent the entire time. If you can't see them when that punch comes, it's gonna do some damage.
Both fighters up to scratch.
Knuckle up.
Round number 3, fast off of scratch with that right jab from southpaw comes Fames.
And that might have lit a fire under Fames.
There's the feint step from Polgar. Fames lowering his stance, early stages, round number 3. Hook jab from Fames. The right hand, exploding back to the entry.
And that's what Polgar needs to do, get in close and throw a lot of punches. He can't just one at a time, that's what Fames is good at.
Polgar again, solving distance, mid-range pocket. Now in the mid-range, Polgar right to the body. Jab right back from Fames. 1:15 remaining round 3. Big right hand from Polgar.
Fames had to grab in that situation. He got hit with a good shot.
Polgar, hard entry on the jab.
Go to the body.
Big shots, counter left hand from Fames. Polgar on the right hand, coming forward again, knockdown number 2.
And Fames is fortunate. Polgar continues to hit her as he has his head up by his hands. If he goes with the body, that's going to be huge problems.
Up at 9 is Fames. Fames tells Sam Burgos he wants to continue. We will continue. Polgar knocking down Fames in round 2, and again here in round number 3.
Polgar doing a good job of not getting too excited. Fames is still dangerous.
Fames on the left hand and a big exhale. Right hand just off the mark from Jim Polgar. See the head movement from Polgar? There's the left hand getting through from Fames. Fames back to the jab. Polgar slightly opening his chest, coming forward. Final seconds, round number 3. Polgar on the flurry to the body, right hand. And Polgar with the jab, counter left hand from Fames. Long jab again from Jim Polgar. Next stop, round 4.
Another huge round for Polgar. Just stayed in his opponent's face, throwing more combinations. Fames does a great job at throwing one punch at a time, landing it, but he's not landing any combination. He's throwing one punch and then he's admiring his work. If he can land one punch, you can land more than one punch. They're out of position at that time, continue to throw 2, 3, 4 punches.
Don't stop. When you're tired, who gives a fuck? You're about to win, bro.
And Polgar, once again, throwing combinations as he gets Fames, backing up. He just keeps coming forward, throwing more punches. And here's Fames trying to block these shots, but Polgar just keeps coming. When those hands are up and the head is down, he can't see what's coming at him. Very difficult to counter.
Presumably back-to-back 10-8 rounds for the Venezuelan Jim Polgar, knocking down Fames in round number 2 and again in round number 3. The start of round number 4.
And Fames has got to do something to change this fight. He's got to throw some power shots, throw some combinations. It can't be one at a time.
Fames on his back foot, Polgar on his front foot. To the mid-range comes Jim Polgar. Fames left hand not getting through. Good high tight striking guard of Jim Polgar. Polgar on the right hand. Polgar on the left, the right, solving distance again. Polgar to the body, counter right hand, and the big left hand from Fames.
And Polgar, he takes some hard shots and he just seems to keep coming forward. Doesn't bother him.
Chris, Jim Polgar has been methodical. Outside, mid-range, pocket, and then flurries to the body from the pocket.
That's exactly how he needs to fight. Wait till he gets his in range and then unload on Fames. Just like he could do right here.
Go big right hands. That is knockdown number 3. You saw Fames touching the canvas with his left hand.
Hey, I'm gonna give you one more chance, all right? Keep it on. Let's go. Knuckle up. But once again, Fames, he's getting hit, he's getting dropped, but he still seems like he's in this fight. He's not that hurt.
50 seconds remaining, round number 4. Fames down in rounds 2, 3, and here in round number 4, and he fights on. Now Fames coming forward.
Fames knows he has to change this fight. He's been knocked down 3 times. He's not going to win a decision.
Right hand from Polgar not getting through. Snap jab from Fames. Counter right hand from Polgar.
And Polgar impressive with his ability to take a shot.
Blood coming from the mouth of Fames. 20 seconds remaining, round number 4. Fames on the left hand, messes with that wide right hook. There's a left hand getting through from Fames. Polgar to the inside, nearly threw an illegal backhand. Spotted by referee Sam Burgos as well. Right back to it. On the jab, Fames, hands very low, coming forward. Open chest now is Fames. There's the jab from Polgar, the right hand. We move to the 5th and final round.
And everyone has to know at this point, Fames cannot win the decision. He has to get some knockdowns in this last round. He's got to come forward with combinations, one punch at a time. It's not going to do it against Polgar. Polgar is eating these shots very well. And here's that pressure constantly being applied by Polgar. And as he gets inside, just throwing combinations. Fames came out of that one, but that's what he has to do when he's in that position and punches are being thrown at him. Come back with some counters. With the knockdown, he didn't do that. He just waited, he took them. As you can't see your opponent and you're getting shots thrown at you, you have to fire back.
You gotta finish him. You got to finish him. So step into the body, uppercuts.
And Fames this corner telling him exactly what we just said. You have to finish him in that round. They told him to go to the body and then start throwing those uppercuts. He's landing good shots, but he has to throw more than one at a time. Oh, Fames, I think he just said he can't see.
Time called by referee Sam Burgos.
No. If he tells these guys he can't see, that's fight over. You can't say you can't see. Stay right there.
Here's the Chief Medical Officer of BKFC, Dr. Don Mutzi.
He's good to go. You want to go? Yeah, he's good to go.
All right. Dr. Mutzi telling referee Sam Burgos Fames is good to go. 5th and final round underway, and exploding off from scratch to start round number 5 is Fames.
That's exactly what he needs to do. He needs to throw combinations.
That is ruled a slip by referee Sam Burgos, saying that Fames pushed Polgar to the canvas.
That wasn't a slip, that was a throwdown. But I like it. Fames has got to send a message at this point. I'm coming to take you out.
Left hand from Fames. Polgar knocking down Fames in rounds 2, 3, and 4. There's a big right hand from Jim Polgar.
I like to see Polgar go to the body. If he lands on the body, he's going to do so much damage.
Fames big to the body on cue. Jab right back from Polgar, right hand. 1:15 remaining, fifth and final round of this welterweight bout.
And you can see the skill of Fames. He dodges, just gets out of the way. He can put some combinations together and have a good chance to win this fight.
Left hand from Fames, partially blocked by Polgar. Fames entry lead, left uppercut, overhand right. Fames, you see now walking towards Jim Polgar, yelling at Jim Polgar.
Polgar is thinking, why do I want to continue to fight your fight? I'm winning. You have to make this your fight. I'm not going to give you the opportunity.
Fames continuing to yell at Polgar. Polgar staying methodical, staying on the outside. Fames hands very low, mockingly sticking his chin towards Jim Polgar. 30 seconds remaining in this fight.
Fames trying to entice Polgar to come in so he can land that knockout shot. But Polgar is having none of it.
Overhand right from Jim Polgar to the inside. Inactive clinch ruled by referee Sam Burgos. Quick separation and restart.
And if I'm Polgar, I might do that again. There's no reason to trade punches against a very heavy-handed Fames.
10 seconds, gentlemen.
Stretch drive of this fight now. Big entry from Fames. Clever to the body. Left hook from Fames. Overhand right. Fames again yelling at Polgar. Lands the left hand just before the bell. That ends this fight.
Well, Fames threw a lot of hard shots there. Did his best work in that round. If he could have done that a few rounds earlier, maybe it'd be a different outcome. And here's Fames doing his best work, throwing combinations more than one punch at a time. And he landed hard shots. Very impressed with Polgar's ability to take those shots. And he's not just taking them all, he's firing back.
Nice moment between these two fighters. You saw Fames continually yelling at Jim Polgar in round 5, but there's the respect. Our 3 judges tonight here in Hollywood, Florida have been assigned by Tim Shipman, the outstanding head of the Florida Athletic Commission. Their scorecards have been tallied, and as you think about those 3 Florida judges' scorecards, go back to rounds 2, 3, and 4, presumably 10-8 across the board as Polgar knocking down Fames in all 3 of those rounds. Jim Polgar, with the flag of his native Venezuela, obviously feeling very good about his performance.
Well, he was the undersized fighter, came in 10 pounds lighter. You can see who had the power difference, but Polgar had an excellent chin, an excellent game plan, was able to get into the pocket and throw combinations.
Let's go!
Fames showed his heart, pulling himself off of the canvas. Again in rounds 2, 3, and 4, Fames had a very strong round number 5. But knockdowns rule under the unified rules, Chris, of bare knuckle fighting.
It was just a little too little too late.
Here is Jeff Houston.
Ladies and gentlemen, after completing the scheduled 5 rounds, our judges at ringside are all in agreement at 48-44 to the winner by unanimous decision, Jim Alexander Polgar.
And look at the emotion from Polgar. Came in, felt like he was the underdog, had a fantastic performance. So happy for this guy.
The 3 Florida judges all giving Fames rounds 1 and 5, 10-9, and all 3 giving Jim Polgar rounds 2, 3, and 4, 10-8, as Polgar dropping Fames in those 3 rounds. Both fighters had their moments. Jim Polgar, though, phenomenal. Closing distance from the outside to the mid-range, methodically to the inside. and then throwing flurries to the body, to the head, to the win. Victorious by way of unanimous decision, Jim Polgar defeats Fames.
And here we are, folks. We are here at the Hard Rock Live. You just saw that decision. Jim Polgar going to war with Fames. And already the preview has been tremendous. 2 big stoppages, 1 incredible knockout. And then you see a war go all 5 rounds. Jim Polgar and Fames. Of course, everybody is talking about this incredible main card tonight, especially that main event. Bantamweight Championship is most definitely on the line as Alberto Blas, the brand new champion, just a few months ago, picked that one up, and he's already defending that title of fighting champ tonight, and he is not taking on a pushover here in Royal Ryan Reber. 5-0 in the BKFC, seems to be getting better every time out. That is your main event tonight. Folks, you still have a chance to pick up this full event, but you got to do it with the BKFC app. We'll get a link on screen here for you folks. Get the BKFC app any way you can, any app store, stream it to any device, search it right now, the official BKFC app. That's where you're going to sign up. $7.99. That will get you in. That's going to get you the entire event tonight. That's going to get you another 9 fights tonight, and that's going to get you the archives. That's going to get you every BKFC event ever. It's all on the app. It's also going to give you exclusive bare knuckle video. We're talking about the bare knuckle show with Brian Socha. He's actually right behind me, throwing out t-shirts, riling up this Hard Rock crowd. You can watch the bare knuckle show with Brian Socha every Tuesday. Check that out. It's on the BKFC app. You want to get tickets? It's on the app. You want to get the entire show? It's on the app. $7.99, and you are good to go. Let's take a look at the OnlyFans exclusive look. And here he is, the challenger, Royal Ryan Reber. All he needs is that crown. All he needs is that BKFC Bantamweight Championship around his waist to be official, to be the king of the Bantamweights. Ryan Reber, extremely confident coming up with this matchup against Alberto Blas. And folks, we know how good Blas has looked. El Indio is tremendous, and he is taking this very seriously. Cuban born, extremely proud. El Indio, Alberto Blas, our champion, him and Reber tonight. Folks, the app is where you're going to get the entire show. You literally have under 2 minutes to get this entire show. If you want to watch every bit of it, get it right now. Get it on any app store, stream it to any device. It's simple, and it's $7.99. You can't even get a value meal for $7.99. This is going to get you the entire show tonight, the best deal in combat sports, and it's going to get you the archives as well. And it's not just the co-main, Howard Davis and James Get Down Brown. It's not just the main event. What about Mike Tyson himself, Cuban Mike Tyson, Leonardo Perdomo. He is fighting tonight. The heavyweight sensation is fighting tonight against Steve Banks. So many incredible fights on this card, and every time we come to the Hard Rock Live, you never know who is going to show up. Jason Pierre-Paul's in the house, JPP. I understand we're gonna have a major VIP very, very soon. I can't say it yet, but I think you'll recognize who he is. It all happens tonight. Folks, BKFC 66, get the app, get signed in, don't miss it tonight. Reber and Blas, it's all happening here at BKFC 66, Seminole Hard Rock in Hollywood, Florida.
Bullfighting, bare knuckle fighting, it goes hand in hand, man. This is going to be unbelievable.
Prides himself on a very aggressive style.
I got brought into this game to lose, and all I've done is flourish and win.
Rico Franco, though, really sent a message with that win.
Oh, look at that left hand.
Of the newest and most exciting addition to the combat sports universe, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, baby.
Welcome Welcome to the new BKFC app. Get monthly BKFC events for $7.99.
This is the best show in combat sports.
Enjoy our all-new library of content, including behind-the-scenes access, exclusive BKFC original series, and additional live bare-knuckle fights from around the globe. Knuckle up with the new BKFC app, only $7.99 per month. All right. I think I just broke the gun.
At BKFC 66, two undefeated forces will collide in a fight that could define their careers. Alberto Blas has built a reputation as one of the most dangerous strikers in the division.
Just devastating, powerful, accurate, unbelievable.
Ryan Reber has earned his place among the elite. Every punch Reber throws is deliberate. Every move designed to dismantle his opponent.
I could get gritty in there, but I could also stick behind my jab and use very good bare-knuckle boxing if I have to.
Estamos viéndonos en septiembre 13. Espera por mí. Ya tú sabes lo que puedo hacer. Y ya tú sabes lo que te voy a hacer. Septiembre 13, River. Voy por ti, ¿ok?
Who will leave with the BKFC Bantamweight Championship, and who will fall for the first time?
Tonight, the stakes are high as two unbeaten warriors lay it all on the line in front of a sold-out crowd with a world title hanging in the balance. Who will emerge victorious? There can be only one. Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship is live from the Diamond of the Gold Coast, Hollywood, Florida, inside the Seminole